Good afternoon, everyone. I am Amanda Team with Optimum Ed,
Hi, Tom Leahy.
and we are the right college, the right price, and the right everything.
Career.
Right, the right career.
Right.
So today we're going to talk about the SAT, the ACT, the CLT, and then
Then we're going to go to lunch and have a BLT.
yes, that's what I'm talking about. That's my favorite one, the BLT. So let's get into the nitty-gritty of the differences between these tests, because a lot of the students are going to be taking these and they need to know the differences. So let's dig in.
I'm asked all the time, should we take the ACT? Should we take the SAT? And most schools take both, obviously. It really comes down to what you feel comfortable with in terms of your testing acumen and where your strengths are. So the ACT questions tend to be more straightforward, and so they're some easier to understand. So if you have a verbal reasoning issue, then maybe the ACT might be a better test for you. Mm-hmm. The SAT too has a stronger emphasis on vocabulary. So if you're a word junkie, then the SAT is probably a great test for you to take. On the other hand, the ACT delves into science quite a bit in terms of some of its questioning, where the SAT doesn't. So if you're a science phobe, then you may want to stay away from the ACT.
So basically, Tom, the ACT has a science section, and the SAT does not.
Well, yes, some of the reasoning questions and things are based in science. Mm-hmm. So if you're not comfortable with science, or it's really not your strong suit, then you're probably not going to really enjoy that piece of the ACT, and it may affect your overall performance. The ACT also has more advanced math concepts. While their questions are more straightforward, they do delve into some higher level math type of questions, trigonometry and that sort of thing. So keep that in mind as well. So they both, in terms of time and all that, about the same. They both have a optional writing piece. Mm-hmm. I think too, overall, what you need to keep in mind is that when admissions people are looking at scores, for the most part, they're interested in how you perform on both pieces of the SAT, where in terms of the ACT, they're more concerned about your overall performance, that composite score.
So if you have a little bit of a deficiency in math, you can make that up with the other parts, and then
it's not so evident. Whereas SAT, they're looking at your reading and reasoning piece and the math piece. So anyway, so it gives you an idea of the difference. If you're not sure, take them both. It wouldn't hurt, and just see where how you do, and go from there. Now, as of 2015, a new standard test came on the horizon called the Classic Learning Test.
The Classic Learning Test, that was developed in 2015, and so my understanding is there's about 140 schools that will accept that test.
Right.
So now, do they accept that test in lieu of the SAT and the ACT, or is it in addition to?
Again, that's one of those things, right? Say you need to check with the school and what their policy is. I'm sure there's some schools that will accept it in lieu of, but my advice would be to check with that school that you're thinking about applying to, see if they accept it, and if they do they accept it in lieu of one of the other tests? Because the Classic Learning Test doesn't test the core subject areas like the ACT and SAT do. They are looking at Western, thinking and the classic, learning.
Like the classic learning
models. Right, exactly. Thank you.
So some of the classical Christian schools may
So
Yeah.
liberal arts,
Right.
if that's your focus, the CLT may be the place for you.
And that's a really new test on the horizon too. I don't know that a lot of people know the CLT
Right.
exists yet. So, but it is
Something to look at. We're still learning as well here,
Right.
what it's all about. So, but I think it's important to understand what's out there and what the options are for our students as they begin to look at colleges and who they are, what their strengths are, and how that can be used to their advantage when applying for college.
But I think the message is take both. If you can,
Or all three.
or all three, right?
Yeah.
So
If the school accepts it, yeah, very good.
So those are some of the differences, and now I think it's time for a BLT. What do you think?
I think we ought to go.
All
Lunch.
right.
I'm kind of hungry. Yeah.
Yeah,
Bacon, lettuce, and tomato. Here we come.
So next week, Facebook Live on Fridays, we'll talk about another interesting topic that's very relevant about all of the processes that we do, and hopefully give you some good information.
Right. So until then, best wishes for the new year, and have a great weekend.
Great weekend. Bye-bye.